here in Effingham, Illinois. What do you do here now? You jump off around 4-way there, something.
Yeah, up here at the, I don't know what it is now, 296. It used to be the 96. That's 469. Take that 20 miles, get off on 24 and head east.
Then we can just come right out to 75 and then up.
Yep, bring it up to 475, and then just go south on it 4 miles, catch 75, and you're just on the south side of Toledo and straight north.
Good morning, big strappers. Middle of November. I just entered Michigan from Indiana. Look at these roads. Looks like a January day, not a November day. The temperature, last night I stayed in Gaston, Indiana. The temperature last night got down to 9 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's back up some today, but it's still only a 15 Fahrenheit today. Seems awfully early for that this time of year, but my biggest concern this year with the winter coming early down here in the States is what they've done to the diesel fuel this year. Last year we all had quite a few problems with the gelling up on American diesel fuel. And this year, some states, supposedly like Minnesota, have increased the amount of bio stuff they're putting in the diesel fuel. And man, we could hardly cope last year. There were months I went through 3 sets of filters a month. Now if they're going to increase on the capacity or the amount of stuff in the fuel, you know, you wonder how you're going to get through the winter on the really cold days if the truck will even run. So you've got to be on top of it with fuel conditioner. Buy fuel accordingly. Don't buy in Minnesota or places like that, for instance. And for me, I run a lot of Canada-US stuff. For me, I'll be buying as much Canadian fuel as possible this winter. Now that's a switch for me because Canadian fuel is a lot more expensive. But if it keeps me off the side of the road, keeps me from gelling up, it'll have been worth the extra money spent. So that's part of my plan this year is to buy as much Canadian fuel as possible, believe it or not. But winter's with us early. I don't know if it's going to stay, but be prepared. It's here. Well, we're across the border into Canada, and it looks like we made the right call on the weather pattern here on our way to New Brunswick. And just listening to the Weather Channel, and I guess Ohio's socked in. Buffalo and across I-90, Syracuse area is all socked in with snow. And I'm up here, just almost into London out of Sarnia, and I'm going to run the 401 over and across and down through Quebec, and it's all dry and dusty. It's a little bit cold, but no snow so far that way, so we've got good traveling tonight. And that wouldn't have been the case if we'd have stayed stateside here. So we made a good call on the weather. It pays sometimes to look ahead and see what's going on, so you don't get stuck in the snowstorms this time of year. So much of this job in trucking is kind of hit or miss. It's a matter of good luck or bad sometimes. This could turn out to be a beautiful drive with beautiful scenery today in an area that I'm not very familiar with at all, or it could turn out to be the trip from hell just because you can't see the side of the road for the snow. It's snowing so hard, the visibility's bad, and the road turns icy, and all the cars wreck and slows you down and stops you. So, you know, it could go either way this time of year, especially in Canada. You never know what to expect out of the trip, but that's just part of the deal with this job. You've got to be prepared for the smooth sailing days and the rough days, and there will be both, guaranteed. But if luck is on your side, the majority of them will be smooth sailing days and pleasant scenic drives, and that's really the best of trucking. That's what I like about it, and there's lots of days like that. New toll road around Montreal. Look at the size of that dam over there. That's a big one. So far, so good. I think I'm going in the right direction. Certainly I seem to be the slowest moving guy on this road. Well, I actually kind of know here where I am a little bit. I'm in Levi, Quebec on Highway 20 here. The only reason I remember Levi is because I broke down here once. And the truck was hopping and jumping and clearly missing on a couple of cylinders. I thought I lost an injector, and the ride was violent. I couldn't drive the truck, so I got off at the exit. I just happened to be going through Levi. I got off at the exit, and I saw a Freightliner dealer right at the exit. I thought, oh well, this might be all right. I got into the Freightliner dealer and explained to him my trouble. And he, in broken English, he asked me what kind of an engine it was. I explained it was a Caterpillar, and he just kind of shook his head and made a up the street. He said, Peterbilt, go to Peterbilt. said, well, how far is Peterbilt? Where's Peterbilt? Just up the street, he motions to me. So I looked up the street, and I didn't see anything, but I thought, well, I'll go have a look. Geez, I didn't go up there a quarter mile. There was a Peterbilt dealer on the right-hand side. They had no signs out or anything really that you can see from the road, just a sign on the building. I whipped in there. They had a young guy that spoke English. I told him I thought I tossed an injector. He put it on the computer, worked on it for about half an hour, 45 minutes. He said, I think it's the ECM. And I said, really? Well, that's odd, isn't it? He said, yeah, they don't go very often, but he said, I've got one on the tow truck here. Let me try swapping it and try this one. Take it for a drive. I said, okay. He put the ECM on from his tow truck. It ran just fine. I took it for a little spin at the highway, brought it back. I said, yeah, that's it. He goes, okay. And called, he said, I haven't got one, but he said, let me call Peterbilt, Quebec City. They had one. They ran it down in a pickup truck within an hour and a half of where I was in Levi. And I was out of there. I was in and out of there. And this is on a Friday night. And I was in and out of there in about 5 hours. Boy, I was pretty happy with those guys. I was pretty impressed. So I've got nothing but good things to say about the Peterbilt dealer in Levi. They sure helped me out of a tricky spot on a Friday night. You know, I just assumed that even if they were able to get the part, they'd be at least Monday before they'd even look at me, and I started to look around for a hotel, and boy, they had me out of there in about 5 hours. So that was a happy experience for me with Levi Peterbilt. So if you're ever in the area and you need some work done, I recommend those guys.